Hi everyone! Since it's now summer and everyone is thinking on going on holidays and I went traveling a bit myself, I asked myself a question this month: how do I travel better? So it's actually easier than I thought, and I can give you a few tips and tell you a bit about my journey. So first things first, before traveling I needed to plan my journey. It's easier when you find your accommodation before, organize your transport, because then you can really see how you could be more eco-friendly at every step of your journey. That's what I did with my boyfriend and it came very handy. I also knew I was going on hikes, so I took my reusable bottle and reusable bags as well, so to avoid single-use plastic as much as I could. Before leaving, I also thought about unplugging every single plug on my flat. This way you can really avoid wasting electricity and energy when you're away, and I think it's something that maybe everyone should think about. I also read somewhere that it's better if you pack lighter. That way the mean of transport you're using to travel is lighter and it reduces your carbon emissions, so you reduce your pollution. Secondly, we took trains and buses all along our journey. So since we're spending a few days in the Scottish Highlands, we decided to take the train to start the journey from Edinburgh to Inverness. The journey was actually really easy, really nice, but just only one change. Taking the train instead of a plane is actually way environmentally friendly. Trains can reduce and cut your emissions by 2 or 3 times compared to a normal flight. I know some people tend to take domestic flights instead of taking the train in their country, and I think it's such a shame because trains are actually way easier to take, it saves time. Can also be cheaper. With my boyfriend we discovered the Scottish Rail card that gives us 30% off on every single journey through the Scottish Rail. Thirdly, these holidays were local holidays. No need to travel to the end of the world when you haven't seen half of the country you live in. We finally spent about 5 days to explore the surroundings of Inverness in the Scottish Highlands. That was amazing. We got to do some local tourism. So talking about traveling local, we're here in Dunrobin Castle today above the Loch Ness, as you can see. So today we're in front of the falls of Voyager among the Loch Ness, and here we are. See, we're on the Loch Ness and it was raining a bit, but it's a bit sunnier. It's a really nice day. It's our last day of our local touristy holidays, and it's just more discoveries every day to see the beauty of Scotland. It's amazing. To summarize, we went on a hike in the Cairngorms, explored Dunrobin Castle, Dunrobin Castle, the Loch Ness, walked around Loch Morlich, did some canoe around Loch Morlich. Fourth, during my journey, I always kept in mind the word local. Eat local, shop local, sleep local. It's always eco-friendlier. I visited a few souvenir shops full of local products, from soaps, gin, whiskey or plush. I need to present you my crush, Mr. Macintosh, that I found in a little souvenir shop in Aviemore. That's my little weakness, my little souvenir of the trip. I also tried some beer that was brewed about half an hour from where I was in the middle of Inverness. Sleep local, eat local, shop local. I think that's my new mojo for my next holidays. And talking about sleeping, we chose an amazing bed and breakfast in the middle of Inverness. The owners were a really nice Scottish couple, really lovely, took care of us. So I really recommend it. If you can, try to find an accommodation at local hostels or Airbnb, I don't know, but I really can support them, support the local economy, especially in this time of pandemic where tourism completely crashed down. I think that would be a big help for them. Fifth, when I traveled, I always took my litter with me and was always careful to not let it fly around. Plastic waste can take hundreds of years to decompose. Animals could die of it. So I was really careful with my litter, and I really beg you to be careful with yours, because nature has to be respected for the next generation to be able to see it. And sixth, try to find touristy activities that won't harm the environment. So don't go to pet wild animals, for instance. What I did during these holidays was kayaking, hiking, just taking pictures around, discovering the landscapes, the environment. I was in just activities that won't harm the environment, won't pollute. It's very easy, it doesn't cost you much, so I strongly recommend that. The little struggle over there is that it's not always easy to travel locally, especially when you live in Scotland. We don't have a really warm and sunny summer. Since I'm also French, I'm going back home sometime and I need to take the plane for this. It's way easier from Edinburgh to the middle of France where I'm from. I mean, I'm avoiding the plane as much as I can. Was really happy to travel around Scotland for this summer, but I know it's not always easy. If I were to take the plane to travel, I would try to offset my emissions. So offsetting means that since you're polluting, you're gonna emit emission on your flight. You can offset this emission by just giving money to plant trees, for example. The tree will reduce the emission you had produced by taking the plane, if it makes sense. So just to conclude this little video on traveling a bit more eco-friendlier with Mr. Macintosh, I would say just eat local, shop local, travel local, sleep local, and just take care of the environment around you. Don't let any litter fly around you, just bin it. Take reusable bags, a reusable bottle, just avoid single-use plastic. Finally, just exploring the wildlife, the nature around you can bring you more awareness on species, on the fauna and flora, and if you understand something better, you usually tend to love it a bit more and to be willing to protect it a little further. So I would strongly recommend to just take some time to learn about the biodiversity of the place where you are and just explore the world as much as you can while still thinking of the impact you have around and just thinking of the environment.